how in the past have you gone about selecting integrators and given everything that you've known in the 10-ish years since you were last an end user, how would you go about selecting an end user today?
Sure, and I think I've alluded to that process a little bit earlier, but ultimately, I
Mhm.
think that it's just like an interview, right? So somebody from the
Yep.
systems integrator is going to come in and probably explain what their capabilities are, who would be working on a project. Let's say if you choose them, it's not. Let's say if they're small, then it's probably going to be the person who executes the project. If they're large, it's not always going to be the same person doing the work than the one you're speaking to. So to ask the same questions as you would ask in an interview, right? What kind of other projects have you done? What have you worked on? What is your skill set? What are you comfortable doing? So just get a first understanding of the systems integrator. Then the first phase, really for me, like I said, it's almost taking a flyer on seeing them on a smaller project and how they perform and, just to see if the expectations are similar, right? So I'll give you like one example as I've once again described a little bit, but during a commissioning project, a lot of times you need multiple parties. So the OEM is either going to do some kind of a VAT, FAT with you. They're probably going to send a couple of people to integrate that machinery. And you're going to have either like a local systems integrator or somebody helping out with those efforts, whether internal or external. Well, I think like for me, the first phase is usually, like I said, testing out or trialing the systems integrator and just seeing how they work, what the feedback is. Again, if I'm in an engineering management position, then I'm probably not going to be hands on with the representative or the engineer from the SI. So I would probably get the feedback from my team of what it looked like. Are they happy with the level of service that has been provided? I would probably also throw in some curveballs. And what I mean by that is, let's say if there's an increased need in figuring something out over the weekend, what is the response? Can they staff that, right? If I'm looking to run projects in manufacturing 24/7, if I'm looking for support, is that a an immediate yes from their side, or is it a very hesitant, hey, we can only accommodate that if you provide a contract for like 3 months from now, right? So I'm just trying to understand maybe what their commitment lies in terms of working with me. If I'm satisfied in that first phase, I think like that's what when they are officially sort of like brought on board and you can start building that long-term relationship, right? You want to include them in the projects, you want to understand, or I guess you have an understanding that there is a learning curve for the systems integrator as well. And the better, as I've discussed, the better they understand the process, the better they understand what kind of projects you're projecting, let's say in the next ideally year, but maybe more, right? Like 3 years, the better they can position themselves to help you with the technology, the services, so on and so forth. So I think it's just a couple of phases, but very critical to find the right fit. And as I always mention to even my customers when I've talked to them afterwards, it's difficult to get that fit without doing a smaller project before diving into something that has a lot more consequences.
I would agree with that. Trialing out on something that maybe is insignificant, but is inexpensive is always a good way to go start to build those relationships. And I would say much of my success of going and working with new clients and going and building those relationships is knowing people that know them, knowing people that do work within those organizations. It is really hard to go knock on the door of a manufacturing company and say, "Hey, my name is Vlad. Do you guys need help? Like, I do X, Y, and Z things. Can I help you? Like, do you have PLC problems?" So first, the guard is just going to look at you like you're absolutely insane. And you're probably not going to get much further than that. But kind of beyond that, it's really difficult unless they have that. If someone has the immediate need of the service that you're offering, then it may be a yes. But the vast majority of the time is you need to go find a way to get an introduction to those people so that you can go have that conversation. Right? People want to know your background, they want to know your skill set, but like most of them want to know, how do you know us? Like, how do we know you? Who do we know that I can go call to make sure that you're more than just a living, breathing human being, that you can go deliver the things that you want to do?
Mhm.
And in my experience, you either get to the end of that first opportunity and then there are a ton more opportunities, or you get to the end of that first opportunity. You're like, hey guys, this was fun. Good luck with whomever else you're going to go find to bring on in the next opportunity. Cause maybe there wasn't the best alignment. Maybe it wasn't nearly as fun as possible.